Now let's get some references, see what we're gonna draw tonight. Okay, I see like 3 here that I might want to kind of mess around with. So let's kind of see what we can do with that. I usually play music, but I'm trying to avoid copyright strikes. Hey, so I see this one pose and I'm just gonna sketch. I don't know if it's actually gonna work or not, but we're just gonna kind of sketch and see what happens. Okay. Hold on. Okay, this looks like really crazy, but just trust the process. Trust the process. I just need like a general kind of outline for this. Sorry, I'm missing some comments. Is it feet? Well, let me back up a little bit. What do you love the most about arts? I think just being able to like create whatever you want. That's kind of been, I think, the most fun part about it. But I love to commission people. I love seeing like the ideas that I have come to life in my head. Um, so did I say that right? I love to see the ideas that I have in my head come to life. I think I said that right. I just kind of like zoned out for a second. But yeah. Yeah. What about you guys? What do you love about art? I say that too in my art lecture. just the process, right? Literally this is like so basic. My technique is literally just like scribbling. What would you say is your art style? I mean, I can show you kind of like some art that I have. I don't know like what this art style is. This is something we did on live the other day, if you guys missed it or not. This is actually one of my characters. His name is Young Ho. He's Gia's husband in the comic. I like a semi-realism art style, so I like to do a lot of like depth and things with shading and things like that when I have, you know, the ability to get there. Otherwise, I'm usually just like in the sketch stage. I love anatomy, so like anatomy is like really, really big for me. Even in my content that I make, like the comic and the social media content, I really emphasize to the artists that I work with that like anatomy is like super important to me. Like, unfortunately, you can't work with me if you don't know anatomy. It's just what it is. I am like super, super specific about it. So that's kind of my style. I like to do a lot of muscles and things like that. My guys are usually thicker. I don't tend to draw like small people, small guys. I've also recently started to get into like animals for some reason. Totally random. Um, so yeah, I don't really know what my art style is. Like, and this one is like way different than the other ones. Like, I was going for like a really much more realism style with this one. So I kind of switched between, I don't really know what you would call it. This is when I was trying to do more of like a realism style, but I don't like it. It didn't really come out that good. This is another werewolf one we were doing the other night. But yeah, so like whatever that style is, I don't know. What do you guys think? What's the style? Random style. I don't know how to do chess. Teach me. I'm still learning myself. K-pop heart, please. Like for me, I love drawing people and like it's a great conversation starter, right? Thank you. How did I learn? Literally just by looking at pictures and trying to recreate the picture. I didn't watch any YouTube videos or anything. I just kind of, that's like literally what I'm doing right now. I'm just looking at a picture. The picture is actually Toji, if you can like see it. This is what I'm looking at right now. So that's what I'm going to be trying to attempt to recreate. It's definitely a lot of perspective skill going on with this one, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. Oh yeah, I definitely like to draw guys with like really thick legs, thick thighs. Thick thighs save lives. Yeah, I self-taught myself. Like I didn't really watch any videos or anything. It was too hard to watch videos. I wasn't understanding the concepts, the terminology that they were using, like didn't really make sense to me. I'm not traditionally trained or anything. You love the comic? Oh, I'm so glad to know that. I'm so glad you like it. Learning anatomy, it's actually very hard. Yeah, I mean, I have a background in exercise science. Like I have my degree in it. So I've just been studying it my entire life and just I was in the fitness industry for a long, long time. But I always say like every time I talk about it, I say that it's so different to learn anatomy for movement and just like exercise than it is to learn how to actually draw it. Like it's so different. So even if I know the muscles of the body or I know like what they look like, I've had to really learn how to draw them and it's been really difficult. Like I'm trying to learn how to draw the back and I literally can't draw it. It's really challenging. But definitely I always recommend learning anatomy is so important. And buy some anatomy books off of Amazon. Like I have a ton of books that I've bought over the years off Amazon. There's one that's called he's like a French guy. It's like you can look it up. Oops. It's like Del Savier. Let me see if I can look it up for you. Hold on. This is a book that these are books that I grew up on and I use in school and stuff. This is the title, or this is like the name of the guy. It's like Frederick Delavier, and he has like a ton of books on, exercise and things like that. But in these types of books, you'll see all the muscles. Like usually they break it down really specifically so you can really learn and like start to learn the names and everything. So that's one I definitely recommend. If you're just like on Amazon, you see a bunch of different anatomy books. If you see his name, then that's definitely one you can check out. But yeah. It's 4 a.m. Yeah, it's like 6 here. Hello. I did not go to art school. I just started learning on my iPad. I just started looking at pictures and things on Pinterest and copied it. I do like anime, but I don't watch anime anymore. Not because like I don't want to, but I'm like kind of old, so like one, I don't have time, and two, there's very few like older people anime, so some of it I just can't relate to. But some of the old stuff I still really like. Like I grew up in the early 2000s, so I was into like Inuyasha and Full Metal Alchemist and Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, things like that. Whoops, some spicy stuff in here. Somebody has to see my girl art, but I have like no idea where my illustrations are. Oh, this is one. This is one I did of Gia like a long time ago. So I did that. I don't draw females often. Oh, it just brought me back up. But yeah, I don't really have too much female art. I don't draw traditional. All right, bye. Thanks for hanging out. Oh yeah, Death Note is definitely good. It's like a classic. Is it normal to be able to do a sadist smile without trying to? I have no idea, dude. I don't know what you mean. All right, anyway, so let's get into this. But while I have people here, I'll just tell you my name is Jenny Leese and I'm the writer and the creator of When the Silent Bird Sings. It's a manhwa you can read on the app called Lamoon. These are my accounts for the comic, so you might see a lot of videos and things that I post with my characters and such. If you're into K-dramas or anything like that, then you'll definitely like this story. I don't know. I don't know how to help you with that one. Sorry. But yeah, so you can read on the moon. Like I said, everything's linked in my bio. So just if I don't know how it works on YouTube, you can like click off, or if you can do it at the same time as you're watching the live. But you'll be able to find everything in the bio. You love K-drama? Yeah, then you'll probably like my comic. I don't want to play music because I don't want to get demonetized. I watched Jujutsu Kaisen Zero and My Hero Academia, Roaders Mission. Those are both 1 hour 44 minutes long. I finished both of them on the same day. I haven't even watched Jujutsu Kaisen, honestly. I just kind of like live vicariously through all the edits and everything and all the fan art. I don't think I can watch it. I don't want to be depressed because I know what happens. So, like, why would I put myself through that? No idea why I would put myself through that. I think eventually I will, but just like no time soon. I think I tried to watch like a little bit at one point, and I just like couldn't do it. But, I've never seen My Hero Academia. I've been depressed after Rika's death. I have no idea who that is. But yeah, it's like, why would I want to like put myself through that? Like, so depressing. I spoiled a bit. Oh, it's okay. Rika is Yuta's childhood best friend. She's deeply in love with him. Just to activate her curses to put on a ring that Rika promised when they get older they'll get married and get her hours. Oh, okay. Oh, it's kind of sad. That's like cute, but like sad. Yeah, I haven't watched an anime in like a long time. Like, one of the last anime that I watched was like My Happy Marriage, I think it was called, on Netflix. Um, and that one was really good. I cried really hard. um, they were both in like first grade or pre-K. Yeah. Um, yeah, I like the My Happy Marriage one, and that was like a while ago. I think that was like when it first came out. I watched it, so it's been like a while. But I just don't have time. You would think like I have my own comic, I would like read a lot, but I don't because I'm so busy like making my comic, so I have like no time to do anything else. Although I need to, like, I need to schedule more time to actually read and things. But this angle is really interesting. I also know Tragic a few seasons later on JJK and Yuta married Maki. Oh, he married Maki. Thank you. Hey, what's up? W drawing. I wish I could be good as you. I also know an artist YouTuber. She promised to draw my profile picture and never did. Probably get really busy, honestly. um, can I have some tips on how to draw? Leslie, she uses anatomy books and pictures. Do you want tips on how to draw? Is that what you're asking me? I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this nose. It's like the ear's here, but the eye is like way up here. Which is kind of weird to me, but this looks crazy right now. Trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah, I'm drawing Toji. Not necessarily drawing Toji, but I'm just using him as a reference. Pictures, yes, to get help with some tips on how to draw. Alright, if you guys are in my chat, make sure that you are 18 or over. Because my channel is for 18 and over. I don't like these eyebrows. Too thick. Thank you. Nah, I don't really draw anything like that, like commissions and stuff. You can drop me on something on PayPal, or I have a thing where if you're 18, which you should be, if you're on my live right now, you can join on the Patreon for the VIB tier and you get a free commission that way. But yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing with the hair right now. I'm not really sure who I'm drawing, but we're just kind of going with it. Just leave it like that because I'm not sure who I'm drawing right now. I draw with my finger. I'm using Procreate. Yeah, I can imagine doing it with your finger would probably get really painful. I'm not really sure how these proportions are gonna look, but we're just kind of going with it. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Um, I'm not gonna finish this drawing in this live. So, um, again, I don't draw people, and I don't do commissions unless it's like a specific kind of situation, like you're on the Patreon or something else like that. You know who this looks like? This kind of looks like what's his name? That guy from that one BL. I can't remember his name. I can see him in my head though. Thank you. Okay, hey. We're really just gonna draw with no music. Yeah. Sorry, you get to hear me humming. Love catching your lives and learning anatomy from scratch and it's helping. Yes, I love that. I love to know that. I can stop drawing right there. I'm going a little far. He's wearing pants. But yeah, I'm really glad that it helps. Yeah. This one's coming out alright for a pretty rough sketch at 6 o'clock in the morning. I think it's alright. And yeah, we're all about anatomy over here. I was just saying that earlier. I'm like an anatomy freak. I'm like really particular about it. Lower. I'm gonna do an NSFW version too. You know I got you guys. It's just pants, but in fact, I think you didn't go further. yeah. Now, like, I can already see it. The perspective's gonna be crazy on this one. So, yeah. I'm listening to ATs right now. Now I got Chris Gray on. If you guys want to listen to music while I'm drawing, you can check out the Spotify playlist that's in my link in my bio, and that's the same songs and things that I'm listening to right now, and you can save it and everything if you want to. A lot of like dark romance, like dark R&B, kind of like bedroom music. A lot of throwbacks. There's a lot of K-pop and things like that. Um, so a lot of variety in it. A lot of TikTok songs. I come across a lot of music and things on my account, so I like to add those songs to my Spotify if I feel like it's relevant to my comic. So like I really try to find music that's like relevant to the comic. Um oh, thanks for following. Appreciate it. It probably gonna be a good time to talk about my comic for a second. Um, if you guys are just coming in, my name's Jenny Lees. I'm the writer and creator of the comic When the Silent Bird Sings, and this is my comic account. So, I post a lot of like content with my characters and things like that on this account. And I'll come live and I'll draw on things. But this is my comic. It's called When the Silent Bird Sings, and it's on this new comic platform called Lamoon. You can find it in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It looks like this. It has like a little lemon, and it's Lemoon, so double O-N. And it's a romance drama. We have 5 episodes for free right now. They're free on all the different platforms: Webtoon, Tapas, Global Comics, um, Webtoon, Tapas, Global Comics, and Lamoon right here. But we're only launching the new episodes on Lamoon. So we have the new couple episodes here, episode 6, but that's only available on Lamoon. We're only going to be launching the comic from now on Lamoon. It's exclusive to this platform. Well, let me see if I can like. Sorry, guys. Like, there we go. Yeah, it's definitely download it. It's the links in my bio, or you can just, like I said, you can just like look it up on the Apple Play Store or the Apple App Store and or the Google Play Store. But yeah, we have a bunch of episodes for free, so you can like really get a taste of what we got going on here. And then there's a couple episodes here that are NSFW, so you might see these ones have coins next to it. but that's just because there's NSFW content, and then after 5 everything is coins. But let me show you real quick how to get coins. So once you download the app and you make an account, definitely first thing to do is to find my series and subscribe, so that way you always get the notifications. And then you can just go down here to your account, and there's 2 different places you can get the coins. You can access the coins. You can go to the coins, and that'll show the packages here, or you can go to shop, and then you see the different bundles or packages here too. So either way, it's going to bring you to the same thing, and I always suggest people to just get one of the 3 first ones here, because these other ones really give you a lot, which is fine if you kind of just want to do like if you just want to like invest and, you know, have like a bunch of coins on deck. But if you just kind of want to get your feet wet, or you're just coming for my series or something, definitely one of these 3 is fine. $1.99, $4.99, $9.99. And then essentially every episode that's behind with the coins is 30 coins. So you can kind of keep that in mind when you look at these and see, okay, like how many coins might I need? So like the $1.99 would get you about 3 episodes. I think $4.99 would get you about 9 episodes, and then the $9.99 you get 100 bonus coins, and that would get you about, what is that, like 18 episodes or something like that. So just something to keep in mind. You can kind of decide what you want to do with that. But for my series, like I said, we have episodes 1 through 5 for free, except for this part right here, these censored and uncensored. And then the newest episodes are definitely behind the coins. There's also the NSFW right here too. I know you have a team, but is it hard writing your own webtoon? It is very hard. I need more webcomic stuff, so oh my god, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. We launched on the 7th, the 17th, and the 27th. So we actually have a new episode coming out tomorrow. And it's exciting because once you get to where we are in the story right now, it's like really getting kind of serious. If you can see the little thumbnail right here, we're really about to kind of get into this situation that we're in right now. I'll be doing both, but the hardest part right now is the writing. Oh, for sure, for sure. Yes, I'm so excited. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I will, you know, I'll like yap about writing and stuff like that on here too. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me right now, and I can just kind of like talk to you a little bit about it if you want. I could say like the most important thing when it comes to hold on, let me get some water. Hold on. The most important thing when it comes to writing the comic, especially for comics, having done this for a while, having talked to a lot of people with the process and everything, I highly suggest, if you are able to, finish your outline for your comic before you do anything else. You can obviously like draw and things like that, if you have like specific character designs or something like that, but I highly recommend finishing your outline before you start even like publishing your episodes and things. And the reason why I say that is because I've just seen so many people get stuck, get into um, positions where they get stuck with their story because they didn't plan enough. And but because of the nature of Webtoon and how it's very serialized, it's like episodic. Once you publish an episode and people read that episode, it becomes canon and you can't go back. So it's like you have to make sure that you know where your story is going before you start doing the art process for it. Or else you're gonna end up in this situation where you're like, oh, I want to change this, but we're already at episode 28 and the readers already are familiar with the story as it is. So that's my biggest tip I can, or like piece of advice I can give you if you're writing and creating your own story and things. It's so, so important. And whatever you hear, whatever people say, they talk about, uh, you know, plotting, pantsing, whatever the fuck it is. Don't listen to them. You need to have an outline before you start doing this comic process. It's imperative. And when I say outline, I'm talking about like if you can even like episode to episode to episode to episode outlines, like not just like, you know, here's act 1, here's act 2, here's act 3. Like I'm talking like episode 1 blah 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 blah, episode 2 blah 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 blah. Like you know exactly what's going to happen beat for beat and scene to scene. So I can say that. And just as like a little um you know, insider information, like I'm even in the process of writing some of the scenes in the episodes right now that are like within the next couple episodes. Like I'm still trying to nail down exactly what I'm going to have happen. And the only reason why I'm in a shit position that I'm in right now is because I launched my comic during the Webtoon contest. So I had an outline set up because I spent like a year writing the outline, and the story in general was like 500 pages, right? Had the whole story, characters, everything I needed, all the information. And when they announced the Webtoon contest, we only had like a couple months. Like it was like November, I think, of 2024. And we only had a few months to really get it together. So between November to April, when we actually launched our first episode, um, I was still actively trying to write. Like write those first 3 episodes. I finished that line, but I didn't even have like the episode to episode done yet. So this whole last year, like 2025 until now, I'm still writing these episodes, and it was not an ideal way to go about it, but I don't regret it because obviously I had the opportunity to join the Webtoon contest and have that experience and things. But um, I had always planned on launching my story when I had it finished. So um, like I said, that's like the biggest piece of advice I can give is just making sure that you have that situated already. Why is this not viral? You guys gotta hype it up. At least on YouTube, you can actually like do something like there should be something down here like a hype button or something. I don't know. That helps to like I don't know, push it out to more people or something like that. Um but yeah, so I hope that's helpful. And the art part I can't really help too much with because I'm not an artist and I have no idea about that part of it. I know like obviously like I know like some stuff because I have to do it, but Um, specific stuff, it might be kind of hard for me to. How long can an episode go on for? Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of like the short way to answer that question. What's his name? I don't even know. I don't even know who this is. I just drew him. So we can come up with a name. He can be like a new OC or something. He's got a tongue piercing. I'm sure he probably has some tattoos or something. Um, he kind of looks like, I was saying earlier, he kind of reminds me of that one like BL guy. If you guys like can see kind of like who I'm talking about, like I can't remember his name though, but he has like the black tattoos on his arms and he's like huge. Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about on Lezen. But let me answer your question. So let me get a new layer here. So the way that I write my episodes, like the way that I process it and think about it is like um you have an episode, right? And the way that I kind of go about it is there's three scenes, or there's like three parts of the episode, kind of like three scenes. Nah, I mean, it is based on a Toji. Guan, that's the one, thank you. Doesn't he kind of look like Guan? I was like getting that vibe. Like, I don't know why I was like getting that vibe. Maybe like the hair or something like that. Um, so yeah, you might want to like screenshot this or something. This is my process. This is my way of understanding how to do this. Okay, you have to go. Thanks for hanging out. So you have the beginning of the episode, and because the episodes in webcomics are like they're chained, they're like kind of chained together. Um, the way that I think of it is the beginning of the episode is usually like either starting a new scene or it's continuing from the last oops, it's continuing from the last scene. So it's one or the other. It's either continuing from the last scene, the previous scene, or it's starting a new scene. The middle of the episode, or like the second scene, like the second part of the episode, this is like super general too, so like it might change depending on obviously like what you're writing and things. But in general, the middle of the episode is kind of like the bulk of the episode. It's kind of like the main kind of meat of the episode, and this I call the conflict. There's some kind of conflict that's going on, or like plot progression, or like something's going on, right? Or it's like introducing like a new conflict or a new plot point or something like that. The end of the episode, like this last kind of bit of the episode, is going to be the cliffhanger. It's going to be some kind of closing part of the episode that's going to lead into the next episode. And then the cycle starts again. So if this is a cliffhanger of one scene, you can finish it in the next scene. So it would be continuing from the last, right? When you go into like episode 3, right? So you start with episode 2 and then you go into episode 3. Then you're continuing from the last episode. You have some conflict or plot progression, and then it's another cliffhanger. Or if it's not a cliffhanger of one scene, it might just be it could also be like a foreshadow kind of thing. Like sometimes it'll shift from this middle section into a very quick couple of panels that just kind of drop some information. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh yeah, this is something that's going on with like maybe another subplot, just so you know. and then it goes into the next episode, and that kind of acts a little bit like a cliffhanger, but it might not be like, you know, the main subplot or the main plot. It could be like, oh, the enemy is like up to something, and we just want to give you like a couple panels of that here so you can like think about it. But then the next episode, when you go into episode 4, you might start like a whole new scene, and that whole new scene might be with like the main characters again or something. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I think about it. It's like scene 1, 2, and 3, like 3 big scenes, or not, they don't have to be big, but like 3 main scenes, or plot points or something like that, whatever you want to call it. But it's really important to think about, you're starting an episode from either continuing from the previous or starting a new scene, the meat, and then there's some kind of cliffhanger or something like that that's going to lead into that next episode, because that's how we do it. It's kind of important to have it be the structure, because we're doing like episodic kind of storytelling. The other thing I can say is, what was it that I was gonna say? Um, I totally forgot. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions too, though. That might be able to help me like know more of where you are and what you need help with. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. What genre are you gonna be writing? Horror, zombie apocalypse. Okay. I'm not too familiar with that genre, but what I can say about horror is that it's definitely a lot of suspense. Um, oh, there's so many good directors and script writers and things that write that genre, that I'm sure if you like looked it up on YouTube or Google, you could find some good information about how to go about writing and structuring a horror story. Um, because yeah, it's way different, obviously, than what I do, which is drama. But I'm trying to think, because I heard something one time when I was doing some research, and I liked what they were saying, and I'm trying to remember what it was, where it was like, in horror, oh, the structure of horror, I mean, zombie apocalypse, that's like a little bit dystopian, so like that's also something to consider too. But in general, like a horror story, I think they were saying something like, for horror, what makes it horror, or maybe it was for thriller, I don't know, it was one or the other, they're different but kind of similar. um Establishing the family, or establishing the character dynamics, was really important. um they were saying like, a misconception in horror is that it's just about the scare, like you just want to get to sort of the scary part, but what they were saying, if I recall, was that really what makes horror, like standout horror films and things, really, really good is when you have these character dynamics, and throughout the story, you're watching these character relationships sort of like fall apart and be tested by the fear and the different situations that they get into, if that makes sense. So I guess it could kind of be like the same thing for like a zombie story. It's like I said, it's a little bit different because it's like dystopian, it's a little bit more survival like kind of a thing. But if you can think about horror, like the main thing is fear, and ask yourself like, how can this fear really affect the relationships of my characters? So like your main character, I'm not sure if it's like, I don't know, kind of like what the situation is, but like how does, like, say that main character guy has like a brother or something, right? And maybe there's like a love interest or something. Like how is this fear and stuff like that, how is that going to affect the MC? And then how is that gonna, affect his relationship with the love interest and the brother? And it was something like the good horror stories, um it's like, yes, you want to follow obviously like the ghost or like whatever kind of scary thing is going on, but at the end of the story it's still about how that situation affected these relationships and where these relationships ended up at the end of it, um at the end of the situation. Did they stand the test of time? Did they make it through this situation? um did somebody die? How did that affect these people? um do you know what I'm saying? Does that kind of like make sense? So that, seeing it through some kind of a lens like that, could be really helpful to sort of understand your story like a little bit more in depth, maybe. Yeah, yeah, fear is key more than gore, yeah, for sure. Unless you're doing like a gore story or something like that, but um if you're doing like horror or something, that's definitely trying to understand making characters dynamic and have personality. Yeah, yeah. Some romance between my main characters, so you can help with that part big time. I have loads of ideas, and since you do drama romance, what tips do you have for that? Um, so breaking down. Oh, that's the thing. It's like a romance horror. Okay. Um, I'm I'm thinking of like, what's that show called? What's that zombie show called? It's like that really popular zombie show. But I feel like there's like romance there too. Also, All of Us Are Dead was like a really good zombie sort of, not really apocalypse, but like zombie, isolated zombie incident horror story on Netflix. You could look into that because it kind of was also not necessarily like a romance, but I feel like it also had like some dynamics like that. And it was a really good one. I think it used to be like a webtoon and they adapted it into a live action. Um, it's called All of Us Are Dead. Really, really good, about like some high schoolers. And I really like it because kind of similar to, I don't know if you know this one, Train to Busan or something like that. That one's crazy good. Like, really, really good. I really like, when it comes to zombie stories, I really like the ones that are isolated. Like, it's not necessarily the whole world. Like, I feel like in America we have um Zombieland, you know that one, and Is it Day of the Dead? No, that's not what I'm trying to think of. What's the other one, dude? Like, what is that one? It's like super popular. It's got like 100 seasons. Oh God, I can't remember it. What is it? The one in America? Resident Evil. I don't know. That one's not really zombies though. It's kind of zombies, but like I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of zombies. Yes, the fucking Walking Dead. Thank you. Oh my God, I couldn't think of that. um, um, we can put Resident Evil because like it's not necessarily zombies, but it's like science-y kind of zombie stuff. At least in my head, the one I think of like, zombies, like I don't think I think of like Resident Evil like that. Um okay, so anyway, so what I was saying is like a lot of these are like I think Resident Evil is pretty isolated for the most part in like the first one or something, but then it becomes like global and it just kind of it's like a whole thing after that. These two are also like global issues, like it's like the world ended, everything is like fucked up. But what I really like is these stories where it's very isolated and it's almost talking about like the beginning of the situation. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, I love World War Z with Brad Pitt. So good, so good. World War Z is another American one, but it's really, really good. This one I like out of all these. This is like the one I really, really like. Um, that one's definitely zombie. And again, this is like it's like a global thing. It's like the whole world. So what I like about All of Us Are Dead and Train to Busan is that they start out as isolated incidences, and I almost feel like it's scarier that it's an isolated incident because like you don't know what's gonna happen and there's more chaos because you don't know what's going on. So you always see these like scenes and things in these ones where people are like, okay, like things are a little bit weird, but like I'm not quite sure what's going on. And then all of a sudden there's like a horde of zombies coming at them and they're like, oh shit, like I still don't know what's going on, but like that doesn't look good. But like once you get to this point, they already know what's going on, they're prepared. Now it's just about survival. Now you're just surviving. And that's more of the where the horror comes from or the thrill or whatever is just from the survival aspect. But I feel like these ones you can really play into a lot more of the horror because of that unknown factor. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like things are unknown. You don't know what's going on. Like Train to Busan, like they didn't really know what was going on. They were all stuck on a train, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're finding out through, different sources and things that, oh shit, like some part of Korea's got zombies and shit. And then they also didn't know where to go. They were like, oh, do we go to Busan? Do like what about Seoul? Like what's the situation? Nobody knew. Is it global? Is it isolated? Like they didn't know. And that unknown plays into the fear. But when it's like, yeah, like 28, I think it's like 28 days later or whatever, 28 days later or 28 years later, or whatever it is, where the whole world is already done, everybody's a zombie, it's predictable. If you know that there's no other people or you're used to the idea of there being no other people, like in Zombieland, the first thing that guy says is something about like, this is my book of rules on how to defeat the zombies, because he's so used to the world that they're in that he like was able to create like a whole book of rules to live by. So it I feel like those stories, like it really takes out the exploration factor and like the the unknown, it makes it more survival. So it just depends on what kind of story do you want to write. Do you want to write like a dystopian survival story? Or do you want to write something that's more based on horror and fear? And that horror and fear is going to come from the unknown, which I think works really well with isolated incidences, or ones that, if they're not isolated, it's like the beginning of the end, pretty much. You can also think of, I'm gonna take this off now. You can also think of, a really good one was this, what was it called? The Silent Place, or like the Silent, thank you. I'm really bad with like names of movies and things. It's like Silent. Oh, A Quiet Place. That's what it was. That's what it was. A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place. The first one was extraordinary because, again, of that unknown factor. Nobody knew what was going on. So, like, nobody knew what was going on. Shit was happening. Is it, like, what is it? Like, what is this creature? Like, we didn't even I don't even think we saw the creature until, like, the very end of the story or the movie. We don't know how to defeat it. You know, we don't know how to defeat it. I think that was kind of like at the end of the story, like how they figured that out. This one is a global situation though, but I'm just talking about like how it began, like, um, yeah. You get what I'm saying though. Hopefully. I hope that makes sense. So, yeah. Um, if you're gonna do romance and stuff in a story like that, I would also think, like I said, about the Train to Busan or All of Us Are Dead. Those two being kind of like two that you could kind of start with to see how to do that. Um, like I think in All of Us Are Dead, like not to spoil it, but like to spoil it a little bit. I think in All of Us Are Dead, it was like the one of the guys got really close to one of the girls, but then she turned into a zombie or something like that, and he was like really upset about that, obviously, and but then they eventually figured out a way to continue seeing each other. Like she wasn't completely zombie somehow, so like she was still able to like kind of communicate and things, and he kind of, oh, another one actually, now that I think about it, it's an older movie. Let's see if I can figure out what the name is. I'm like sitting here, I can think of it, but I'm gonna have to sit here and try to think of the name. It's an American movie, but it's like these two people, it's like a guy and a girl. And the guy is a zombie. So that it's like a one of those like apocalyptic ones, already dead. Survival. The guy's a zombie. The girl, I think she's human. I think she's like fine. What happens though? Oh god. It's like, I think in this one it's like those, yes, Warm Bodies. Okay, so you know that one. I was trying to think, like I think it's like if they eat the brains of the people, they like get their memories or something like that. So he like eats the brain of her boyfriend or something, and then she like kind of like falls in love with, or not like falls in love with him, but they kind of like get close. I think he like falls in love with her or something like that. So that one, I really like that one. I watched that like a long time ago, and I was like, wow, this is really different. Was not expecting it to be like that. But it was really good. He has three legal. What is that? But yeah, so you can look into some of those to kind of get some inspiration, although they're movies, but like just to kind of get like some ideas of how those kind of stories are written. Oh yes, three legs. Okay. But the other thing to remember too when you're writing the webtoons and stuff is that webtoons and comics are definitely like, I always say, like they're like TV shows basically. So the way that they're structured, like those, the way that I told you how to like structure the episode, um and things like that, it's like a TV show. So it's okay if you look at film, and it's okay if you look at TV shows as reference, or to kind of get an idea of how the beats go, excuse me, in the story. Um, because it's kind of the same pacing in a webtoon, it's just that it's not like live action. But that's why so many webtoons are adapted into TV shows, because it's basically just the blueprint for a TV show at the end of the day. Sure, yeah, yeah. Before the art is the story, so getting help from anywhere is worth making the story good. Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like I said, that's what I always suggest because it's so important. I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, are like artists and they don't really place the same value in the writing aspect. But it's honestly more important than the art to have the writing down. Um, you write romance. How do you write it not to seem cheesy or badly written? I don't know. Is my story not cheesy or badly written? I hope not, but um mm, I guess the most important thing with that would be to make sure that your characters are really fleshed out. So that way they feel real. And I know that's like super cliche and probably like really annoying to hear, but it is another thing that I say a lot when I talk to people, um, to not have superficial characters or like caricatures of characters, but to have like real kind of depth to the characters. And the way that I go about it might not be something that you would want to do or something, but like when I, like I told you, like for this story, When the Silent Bird Sings, I had like 500 pages of story and outline and notes. So like when I go into stories, especially like a big story like this one, I write everything. I write so much about the characters and the world and the conflicts and their emotional states and their thoughts and their past and their backstory and their parents' backstory. Like I go so into it, so in depth with it, because to me it's really important to understand as much as possible about the characters, so that way when you go into writing for them, you're you it's like you are that person because you know their backstory, you know how they'd react to things, you know the things that they would say, you know their emotional states, um because you have context for different things. Do you know what I mean? So like even like for example, in my story right now, um let's see, I'll kind of spoil this most recent episode. Let me just make sure that there's nothing. Okay. So, this most recent episode, like I said, is really starting to get into San and Gia's conflict. And, um, I'm not gonna say my writing is the best or anything like that. And I'm also gonna preface this by saying, like, I'm really, really bad at writing dialogue, so just keep that in mind. But I know how it's supposed to be done. It just takes me so long to come up with lines and things. But the way that I have to process things is like, oh god, it's like knowing the situation that's going on with San and Gia in this episode, um episode 6, took me a long time to get there. Like a lot of backstory, a lot of understanding their emotional states, a lot of understanding what they both know at this exact moment. Like, I know what Gia knows, and I know what San knows or doesn't know, and I know what they're withholding. I know what they're not saying. I know what they are saying. So as the writer, I can fully sort of understand the depth of the emotional state that they're in right here. So when things are happening, I'm able to communicate that in my writing, how they're gonna react. So like this part right here where Gia's trying to convince San to work with her. And if you read the episode before this, she kind of goes into this monologue about why it's sort of important that she gets him, convinces him to work with her. So here she's just going on about it again. And they're having sort of like a conflict here where she wants him to work with her, and he's like, get the fuck out of my penthouse. Like, that's kind of like the situation right now. But like, I know why that is, and so me knowing why that is, I was able to sort of craft this episode and this conflict in this part of the story, and do it in a way that not only is keeping information from each other in this episode, but also from the reader, because you guys, especially by now in the story, still wouldn't know that San is Gia's daughter's father. And you also wouldn't know the backstory that they have together besides what you get in episode 4. So having all the context, having sort of like all like a full understanding of the characters' conflicts and their emotional like internal states, and how they react to things. So like here, knowing the stuff that's going on with San, I know that her saying his name here is gonna make him react in this way that he does in this episode. That's sort of like a trigger for him. I don't know if I'm like really answering your question or not, but I'm trying to cuz it's like it's really complex. Like writing is like really complex, so I'm trying to like summarize it as best as I can. Yeah, because you said you write romance. How do you write it so it doesn't seem cheesy or badly written? The conflict, the good, bad, all of how do you do it? So I hope I'm kind of um okay, it's helpful. Okay, good. Good, yeah. So my story's on this app called Lemoon. It's LEMOON, and you can download it on the Apple Play or the Apple Store, the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and find our story on here, which is this one right here. It's When the Silent Bird Sings, and you can read it. We have the first 5 episodes for free, and then you can purchase some coins and finish reading the rest. And we have another episode coming out tomorrow. We launch on the 7th, 17th, and the 27th. And this is my comic account, so definitely give me a follow here. And I come live pretty often. So, yeah, I'm reading it. I love it. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Let me know if you have any other questions, too. I've always written stories before, but never committed like I'm trying to. Right. That was like the same with me. Like I wrote a lot. I hope I answered your question on YouTube. It's called Lamoon. You can read it right here, or you can see the thing right here. I used to write a lot, but never to the point where it was like professional or I could like actually publish anything because I really didn't know what I was doing. Um, so this was like my first attempt at really like publishing my work publicly. Um, but I've taken like a lot of time, like the last few years, to really learn how to write properly and things like that, and like learn how to use all the literary devices and all that. And I'm still learning because it's a lot. My webtoon doesn't have any gay characters. It's a straight comic. Um, but I haven't completely decided yet if I want his other ex, to be bi or not. It just kind of doesn't really matter in my story because everybody's straight, pretty much, because like I said, it's a straight comic. Um, but he does have an ex who's his current assistant, and I just haven't decided if I want her to be bi or not. Um, but she'd like literally be the only bi character, so that's why I'm kind of like, it doesn't really make a difference, I think, for this story. um I don't want it to seem like I'm like trying to check something off, like check a box or something, if she doesn't really necessarily need to be. um you're lurking. Okay. After this one, I would never be opposed to a BL. I mean, honestly, I have also been thinking a lot more about Taeyoung's character, and like him and San are supposed to be like brothers, so this is Taeyoung. And he has a fiance. But the only reason why I wrote Taeyoung to have a fiance is just so that he was off doing something while San and Jia were like getting freaky. I'm just being honest. Like, because I was like, he has to be occupied, because otherwise, if they're all three of them together, there's no way that San and Jia could have gotten freaky. Like, you know, Taeyoung would have wanted to hang out with San. So I was like, Taeyoung has to have somebody to occupy his time. So I gave him this fiance, and I had that like, yeah, he loves her and things like that, but I'm gonna be honest, like it never really sat well with me. Like I just didn't really know how I felt about this relationship that he has with the girl that he's with. And so lately I've been kind of thinking like, what if Taeyong was gay? Like what if he was gay? Like what if he was bi? Like how would that change the story, if at all? Like how would that change this relationship that he has with San? And I kind of was like, I don't really think that it does change the story very much. Like, I don't think that, and what I mean by that is like, I don't think that it does change the story like negatively. Like, I think it actually still works fine if he was gay. And the thing too that I liked about it when I thought about it, and I kind of just like sat there for a minute, like thinking about how it could really, play into the story. They're both in the military at some point. Let me show you actually. I'll show you Taeyong. Um, the heck is this? Oh, this happened before. I was like really confused. I thought I hit the wrong app. So let's see. This is Taeyong. So this is Taeyong. This is San. And so they're both in the military, and they're like best friends, right? They're like best friends, like brothers. San just happens to fall in love with Jia, who's his sister, and stuff like that. And so with him being in the military, I'll kind of like spoil a little bit of like what's going on with the story, but the situation was with Taeyong in the military is that Son got in trouble and he had to enlist in the military. It was either he goes to prison or he joins the military and serves that way. So he decided to join the military, and Taeyong at the time was about to be the CEO of Gia's family's company. Um, and he decided to join San in the military instead of go off and become the CEO like he was supposed to. His father was very against him doing that. So it was like a whole thing. And his father already hated San. So you can imagine how that went. It did not go over well. So Taeyong joined San and they both entered the military, and they were in the same unit and they were like special forces and things like that. But the thing about Taeyong's character arc during this time is that he grew up rich and wealthy. San did not. San had a very difficult upbringing with his family and his father being an alcoholic and things like that, and like very abusive and stuff like that. So, very poor, rural kind of situation. So, Taeyong grew up wealthy, rich, very pampered, and he was kind of like that prince type. Like in the anime, he's like that prince kind of like type, very handsome, stuff like that. So when he joined the military, that's like not a place that this kind of guy goes into, right? At least in my story, usually the rich, wealthy men are usually able to sort of like avoid having to go into the military. So it was a very different decision for Taeyong to join the military, but it was his loyal sort of, him being loyal to his friend, right? So with this character arc in the military, he's supposed to really struggle a lot because, like I said, he came from like a very pampered, nurtured situation, and now he's having to be like, going through this training and basically become like a special forces officer, and it's very difficult for him, and he fucks up a lot, and Son has to kind of like help him with that. Um, and in the military, I just thought like obviously they're gonna have a lot of time together, they're gonna like grow closer and things like that, and it's just like the two of them. So that's where I was starting to think like, you know at that time, San is supposed to be sleeping with his sister, and I was like, does it change the story really if maybe Taeyong's a little pissy about the fact that he's sleeping with his sister? Like, more so, obviously, than what we would expect. Maybe Taeyong has some kind of affection for San, and that's part of why he's, like a little bit more pissy about it than usual. So it is something I've been thinking about and kind of just like playing around with in my head, but um to be honest, like I'm like almost like kind of 80% on board with it. With the idea of him being bisexual or like gay or something like that. Hey, Fantasy. Um which would make the Patreon really interesting in that way, because right now the Patreon's pretty straight. There's not any kind of like, gay stuff on the Patreon or anything like that, but that would definitely open up opportunities to get a little bit creative, I think, with the Patreon stuff. Okay, bye, Fantasy. Um, yeah. San is straight though. So it would really just be like coming from Taeyong. But oh, so the reason why I went into like his father and like the military and CEO thing was because Taeyong's arc, his whole entire thing is that he's supposed to be like the perfect son, right? He's supposed to be like the perfect son. He's supposed to be the CEO, you know, 4.0, like stuff like that. So with his father being the way that his father is, which is like an asshole, um I was like that would play really interestingly with his dynamic with his father. I don't think that his father obviously would have probably known that he's gay or anything like that, but I can definitely see that being something that Taeyong really was like struggling with because his father is so strict, very strict, very traditional. Do you know what I'm saying? So I did think about it, and I was thinking about it in like all these different ways of like how it would really like play into these character dynamics that they all have with each other. But really for that reason, like for his relationship with San, his arc in the military and how that might be affected, um, or not like affected, but like enhanced or whatever. And then also his relationship with his relationship with his father and how his father is so traditional and yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, definitely like bi or something like that. So this fiance, because and the other thing with his fiance is that I wrote it to be that he's kind of forced into this engagement. Not in the same way that Gia is forced into her marriage with Young Ho, but along the same path of him being sort of forced into a CEO role just because he's the oldest. Taeyong, he's the oldest, and uh, whatever is the man. Um, I can definitely see her father being like, yeah, you need to marry somebody and have that presentation. Like you're the CEO, you have a beautiful wife who's also wealthy and comes from a good family, and I can definitely see his father being like that. So this girl, Amalia, that's her name. Um, that's his fiance. And I can see it being that if Taeyong was gay, that it being like he would have just agreed to obviously marry her just because his father wanted him to, and not really necessarily because he was in love with her. So again, like I said, it all still tracks really well, I think, with how I wrote the story for Taeyong and stuff too anyway. And especially if there's like this aspect of the relationship where he might have been a little bit jealous of San's relationship with his sister. So I'm definitely gonna think about it a little bit more. I'm gonna play with it, and I just, because he's dead, like I just want to make sure that I'm like not being disrespectful to his character, like anything like that, or like misrepresenting the situation or offensive or anything to anybody. So, but like I said, I think it's plausible enough that people won't get offended. Like, cause like I don't know, I feel like there's like a whole thing between like straight readers and BL readers, and they're like nobody can be like straight. Like I don't know, BL people like really don't like straight comics for some reason. So like I don't know, and then like a lot of the straight people like get really kind of up in arms when their characters turn gay or whatever. I don't know, I'm just saying it, I don't know. But like I said, I don't think that it's been concrete enough. He's not in the story enough anyway for people to have like made any concrete judgments on whether he's straight or gay. So I think there's still some room for him to sort of, um, you know, So as a BL reader, I don't hate it. I have favorites, but I'm never opposed, such as yours. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, it's good to know. That's validating. I like your story. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's something I might do. And when he starts to come in the story a little bit more, whoops. But yeah, I hope me kind of like yapping about it a little bit was helpful. Um, and definitely let me know if you have any other questions or whatever you might want to talk about with it. Um, I do plan on trying to start like a little bit, kind of like a little bit like a coaching thing. Not really like coaching for real, but like maybe consulting is more the the better way of saying it. Um, good, yeah. Like I'm not great, I'm not perfect, I'm not anything like that, but I did come up with like a system that I think has worked for me, and I've been wanting to share it. So eventually I'll have like a YouTube that I'll be kind of sharing some things on. Um, and then eventually I'll try to have something put together for people. Like I don't know if it's going to be like a ebook or course, or I don't know. Or just like I said, consult calls or something like that. Um, what is something I'm thinking about? Thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, this one was definitely a trust the process. Like, I came on this account kind of late. Uh, I just was messing around on one of my other accounts, so I didn't get to show this on this account. Like YouTube video tutorials or something where you just sit, draw, and talk like now. I'm bad at that. Oh, trusting the process. Yeah. Yeah. I'll probably have for like the YouTube videos, I'll probably have like more of like a PowerPoint thing so I can really like show sort of like what's going on, the different points and things that I have. Um, because I do want it to be like very educational, so it's like you guys can take notes and things, and yeah. I wish I knew how to draw hot guys like you. Um, I think with drawing hot guys, like it's a lot of like knowing anatomy and like drawing anatomy really good, because I think that's really what makes a guy like really really hot in these kind of stories and things. But everybody has their preferences and things. I happen to like really thick, muscular men in real life and in my stories. So, um, that's kind of like what I draw. But yeah, so I just wanted to show like where I started from with this, because it was like very sketchy initially. I'm doing good. I'm trying to stay up so I can get my sleep schedule back together. But I don't really know like how well that's gonna work. Although I do kind of want to get like a coffee or something, or like some Starbucks. Like I'm kind of craving something like that right now. That would be really good. I don't like that. I'm gonna do it like a little bit more. What am I trying to do with this? Yeah, coffee. Twinkies? Wait, what are we talking about? I like. Oh. Wait, I like muscular guys too, especially the ones with the huge chests. Right, right. You have to drink some coffee or hot water. Right. Well, I have a water here, but I definitely want like a. Usually get like that. It's like a strawberry cream drink or something. I don't think it has coffee in it though. I don't know what kind of eyebrows I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of like messing with it. But we're gonna move on to something else. Do you do the coloring for your characters or do your artists? That's another thing I'm working on. Yeah, I don't draw anything for the comic, like the official comic. So I have like people that do that for me. And it like really depends. Like I've seen people do it and their style is very like flat colors. They don't really have a lot of detailed rendering and things. And I've also seen people do like really high level rendering. It just depends. It's like a style choice. But you know, okay. See ya. Thanks for hanging out. Um like there's some like I like toying with daddy's kind of art style. It's very simple, but it's like um it's simple but it's still detailed somehow. I don't have Lezen on here, but let me see if there's any like on Lezen. I mean on Webtoon. I like this one. The art style is pretty simple. You see, this is pretty flat. There's very minimal shading and rendering. Very minimal color work here. And this is an original, I think. So, you know, you can always like hire a colorist too if you don't feel confident with it or something. But yeah. So there's like that one. I mean all the way up to like this one also has really pretty rendering. Like you can see the difference between the other one and this one. Like this one's still flat color mostly, but they do a lot of shading, I think, which really helps to bring out a lot of like the depth, and they do a lot of like color, I mean lighting and things. Like you can see like it's still pretty flat, but it's like they add like some of the depth with the shadows and like the highlights and things like that. So yeah, so it just really depends. He looks like San from 80s. Honestly, this story, they just threw this on Webtoon recently, but when I was looking at references back in like 2023, 2024, um he was my reference for Young Ho. I was like, who is this man? Whoever this is, he's hot. I need him. He is Young Ho, basically. And she's actually the reference I used for Gia. It was between her and Serena. So you could probably see a little bit of like between her and like Gia. Um, Maybe not with her hair down like that, but there's another picture of her in, I think it's episode 3. Episode 3. She has her hair down here. I mean, obviously, like her skin tone's different, but oh, no, not that one. It's episode 3, part 2. Okay. So this is Gia. Like you said, shading makes it look less flat. Yeah. Shading highlights. Like our story's also pretty flat, but my artist uses a lot of like color, like I think in it, like with, at least in these episodes, it's a little bit flat, but my new colorist does a lot more with like the lighting. Yeah, so you can see the difference between Gia from before and then Gia now. She does a lot more like color work, a lot more like highlight shading, stuff like that. There's a lot more dimension and things, but I have, like I said, I have like a team of people that work with me to do stuff. This is a little bit more like, it's almost like I like to call like the Jujutsu Kaisen style. Very sharp shadows and things. Very like specific kind of shadows. And it looks, to me, like I like this look because it looks very like anime. Like it looks almost like it could have been like in a TV show, like TV show screenshot kind of vibe. But yeah, so I was saying that the other comic though, there's like another picture of Gia here. Oh, like right here. So Gia, like I said, her design was kind of based off of this girl here. So you can kind of see it there. So this girl and then Serena, and then obviously I changed her skin tone. But I love this art style. Like it's very watercolor, but like it's very pretty. Isn't he just so hot? Oh my god, I can't get enough of him. So he is Young Ho. So I'm gonna show you him and then I'll show you Young Ho. Because he's like literally like exactly the same design as Young Ho. So this is Young Ho. This is her husband. So I literally just took these two characters from the other one and I was like, that's Young Ho and Gia. For sure. I have another picture of Young Ho. Actually, in one of the bottom pictures, I have him there. This is Young Ho. This is him in another art style. And then this is him in another art style. Yeah. So you can kind of see the similarities between this guy and that guy. They look exactly alike. It's so funny. But yeah, I like literally was like, this is Youngho, basically. And their dynamic, like this guy and the girl in the story, I really like because it really reminded me of how Youngho and Gia are together. So, and then also Serena with Iser, also very much the dynamic of Youngho and Gia. Serena is also more of like a painterly style, like watercolor kind of vibe, like very like opaque kind of look. Um, yeah. So I also got like a little bit of Youngho from him here. Um, but yeah, you can kind of see like I love this like long black hair look for the girls. So that's why I wanted to make Gia have that same look. So, Gia's hair is actually blue though. It's like black. You see, it looks kind of black if you see it, but it's actually dark blue. And her eyes are blue. So you can see it's like blue. This is my comic When the Silent Bird Sings. The other one's just like some webtoon original. Hello. So you can read my comic on an app called Lemoon. It's Lemoon. It looks like a little lemon. You can see it in the App Store for Apple or Google. Android. You have like an Android phone. And we have the first 5 episodes for free, except for these NSFW episodes. And tomorrow we launch a new episode. And right now I've just been working on this random drawing of some guy. I have no idea who this is, or who I want this to be. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm not sure who this is that I'm drawing. I mean, I guess, like, technically it could probably be Youngho. He would never be sticking his tongue out, though, unless he was, like, eating Gia, probably. Like, I just don't see him, like, acting like this. And I initially was thinking of it being San, so that's why I started doing, like, the middle part, but, somehow it ended up looking like Guan. So... have no idea. I mean, I could also maybe make it Inho. I'm kind of like on an Inho kick right now. If you guys have seen my newest Instagram post or like the newest Patreon post, it's of Inho and Gia. Let me see. I don't know if I'll be able to see it here. Let me see. I need this one anyway. I need to charge it. I might be able to show you guys. Let me see. Am I following you there? I don't know. Okay, yeah, definitely follow on Instagram. I do a lot more on Instagram. Like, I show a lot more on Instagram, but you guys will see me on live here. I don't really go live on Instagram, but I need to start. But they're like weird. They only let you do like an hour or something. It like cuts you off. Um oh, here's another Young Ho picture. This was done by another artist. I'm already restricted, so who cares? Like, I got restricted like 10 minutes ago. This is done by another artist. This is on Patreon for NSFW. But I have that one and also San too. So you can see the NSFW versions of these ones on the Patreon. And I think you only need to be on the Little Mama for this one. But yeah, so I have those. And actually I have the artist doing the other guys too this year. He's booked out literally like a whole year and a half. So I was like, if I want to get him, I have to book him now for sure. But yeah, so this is the post that I just did today for Inho and Gia. Yeah, so it's When the Silent Bird Sings on Instagram, and then on Patreon it's Janielise Riviera. So it's the same, like my like regular name for Patreon, and then all of my links are in my bio here. So you don't have to go off and try to find it. But for the for my link in my bio, it's kind of like confusing sometimes. I have to explain it. So let me see. Hold on. So like this is the link in bio, and on this first page you have just some like basic stuff. You have the Patreon, you have the Lamoon app here, and then you also have my website, and then the Spotify. On the second page here, you'll have all the social media, so you just have to do the drop down, and you can see all the different social medias we have. We have a bunch of stuff. I guess this Discord link doesn't work, so I have to fix that, but this is for like the main account, so like the When the Silent Bird Sings account. And then I also have TikTok and Instagram for the spicy content. And then this other stuff here is just like the other stuff we do, like the plushies, and then this is for like the coloring book stuff, and then this is just me. So that's on there. And then I also have another tab. I like don't really talk too much about this tab, just because I haven't really done too much yet for it, but I'm a content creator too, so I have a bunch of products that I've tried and used, and this is just like a bunch of products from mostly Amazon that I'm just sharing with you guys that are also, I think, pretty related to the story, or like things I would think like if Gia had to buy things off Amazon, like what kind of things would she be buying, or like San. So some of the stuff I have here, like an African nut sponge, mouthwash, perfume. It's like natural perfume, tongue scraper. There's like some Korean kids stuff here, pimple patches, like such an essential. And then just like a lot of travel stuff. So like all these things here, I like have all of these things, and these are things that I like highly recommend. There's only a couple things I don't have, but are just things that I would still recommend, like the sit-up machine. But I have the step-up bench, I have the ankle straps, I have all that stuff there. I actually have a tumbler. I have the 40-ounce tumbler here, but I actually have one right here. And you can get these on TikTok. I love these from Hydro Drug. I have like 3, so this is like my 4th one now. I'm like obsessed. But this one's special because you can like pop open the top and you can drink it like this, or you can drink it like this. So it's like super cool. Super high quality. But yeah, so I just have stuff like that on the link there, and you can, like I said, you can get all the social media links on there too. I literally just watched one of your videos where your physical therapist is your ex. I love it. Yes, yes. For me, it's morning. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. And I've been up all night. For the plushies, so I actually have the bird plushie right here. I can show you. Eventually we'll have some merch and things on the website. But I just haven't had a chance to finish setting it up yet. This is the bird plushie. Let me see if I can like zoom it out. I don't know if you can see it. It's super cute. As soon as I'm rolling dough better, you're gonna be seeing me way more. Okay, definitely. I hope so. This is more one boyfriend. The FL has 3 man. It's so fluffy. Right? Isn't it so cute? I love that it's like double-sided like this. My son loves this. He sleeps with it like all the time. It's literally like, it's not really that big, but there's different sizes you can get. This is like the smallest one. But yeah, so we have the plushies there, and we also will have the coloring book coming out pretty soon for the plushies, which will just be like super cute little well, this is the coloring book. So it's just these pages, super easy pages like this, and then we'll have the other coloring book that'll have the actual scenes like this. So it'll be like 2 different coloring books. But yeah, so I was explaining, I think on live the other night, that Inho, even though he's only in like one scene right now, like one episode, he actually is like really important to Gia as a character. He'll come up more in the story, but basically it's like Son had left 7 years ago, and she married Young Ho, so she's been with Young Ho. Young Ho and Gia were having some issues about 4 years ago, and Inho came to the clinic about 4 years ago and eventually got really close to Gia. So they didn't like sleep together or anything like that. They didn't hold on. They didn't like sleep together or anything, but they just like worked together every day. And Inho fell in love with her. So even though she's married, he has no chill. He fell in love with her. But really because during the time that he was working with her, like I said, her and Young Ho were having some issues, and I kind of spoiled it one day on live what happened. But he had overheard them arguing and things like that, and he sort of was like comforting her and stuff like that. Nobody is really supposed to know that Young Ho and Gia have issues because he's the CEO, obviously. She's the daughter of the chairman. So to uphold these appearances, or like the appearance that everything's fine, it was really important with Inho having sort of like overheard their little situation that he doesn't say anything. And in doing that and like having this conversation and everything, Gia had to trust Inho and sort of got close to him after that. So it's just like a funny dynamic because Inho is like very afraid of Young Ho. But only because like I said, Eno has no chill, so he's already kind of like known as the clinic flirt, and now that he's fallen in love with his boss's wife, it's a problem, obviously. So, but it's fun to write that. It's fun. It's like a fun dynamic to write, because Ian Ho's so nonchalant about it and just very like outgoing, but Young Ho is kind of like murderous. So, needless to say, Young Ho does not like Ian Ho. He doesn't like that Gia even works with him. But you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of like a little bit about Inho and Gia. And sometimes I just like to go off into my own little world and pretend like Inho and Gia are a couple. Non-canon. It's like never gonna happen. But these are two of my characters from my comic When the Silent Bird Sings. This is Inho and Gia. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation that's going on here. Inho definitely has feelings for Gia, which you can tell. Hopefully, it's pretty obvious in episode 1. What episode is it? I think it's this one. Yeah. So in the clinic, here's Inho. He's very flirty. He's very like, you know, outgoing and just kind of like, this is him in the comic. Very handsome, very like he knows he's handsome kind of vibe, like he knows he's got it. But yeah, I love this one from episode 1. Oh yeah, he's a big boy. Well, he's actually the shortest guy. He's 5'11", but he is, I like have this like thing with him, like this little quirk that I made him have where he's like obsessed with his arms because he wears these like short sleeves all the time at work. So he's like obsessed with working out and training arms. He's like that kind of guy where he like doesn't really do legs, but he'll do arms for sure. He's like that kind of guy. But yeah, he's like totally into like working out and looking good. And there's like this like little joke that he's very popular with like the older ladies, like the older lady clients. They love having Inho as their therapist. So yeah, I have fun. I have fun with Inho, for sure. Arms and fluffy pillows looks like good hugs. Oh, for sure, like a bear. We love that. He is really fun. He's so fun to write. You can see this is from episode 1, so this is like what I wrote for the webtoon contest. But you can see like Gia's like blushing slightly here. So I'm not gonna say that she's totally unaffected by Inho, but she's definitely still married to Young Ho. So that was kind of like my little like hint foreshadow type of thing. Now this is also like before she knows that San is back. So this is sort of their dynamic. she's still a little bit affected by him, but obviously she knows that nothing can happen between them. However, with San is her baby daddy, so it's a different story with San. So Inho technically is the third love interest, but it's unrequited. He's never gonna be able to get with her in the main comic. But that's why we have fun on Patreon. That's what Patreon's for. To have fun and make some of these relationships come alive. So yeah. Oh, so I have a SFW, which is this one where they're just kind of like holding each other here, and then the NSFW one is a little bit different. Something's going on here. But yeah. I don't know why I was talking about Inho. I don't know if somebody asked me about this, or we were talking about like social media or something like that. Don't remember. Oh, I think I was saying I could make this Inho, and then I was showing you guys what he looked like. It kind of gives Inho, like it kind of gives Inho's vibe. I think that's why I was saying that. So I could like kind of make him Inho. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it too. I think I'm gonna move the mouth up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to order coffee. Okay, and then for the YouTube, I'm gonna probably shut the YouTube off in a minute just so I can start playing some music. Excuse me. And I'm probably gonna actually restart the TikTok live too because I have a bunch of restrictions on this one. So let me stop the lives and I'll restart it and I'll try to just finish a little bit more of the drawing for a little bit until my food comes, and then I'm probably gonna pass out even though it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so let me restart the lives. If you guys want to join, just hang out for 1 second. All right, I'll see you in a minute.